Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi. How are we all doing? This is gonna be the most cringe stream I ever do. But that's okay. That's okay. This is gonna be real cringe. Very, very cool. It's hard to talk really quietly. I'm not good at talking quietly. Maybe I need to... Please tell me if the audio sounds good. I hope the audio sounds good. This is the best I can do. Hello everybody. If you don't know who I am the mailman. You could just call me Mail. I do hope you are having a good day, evening, morning or night, wherever and whenever in the world you are. Hello to the Ace. Hello to the Alice. Hello to the James. Welcome on in, everybody. James says, give Mail Burger. There will be no Mail Burgers this stream. There will be only calm, relaxing vibes in which we delve into fascinating topics while reading their allocated Wikipedia article pages. We will explore a variety of fun, interesting, and relaxing subjects that I hope can appeal to a wide audience. And I'm glad that you're doing alright, Alice. Working at the moment. Well, I do hope that you can relax to this stream. You got this. Audio is great. Nice. Mailman must scream at the end of the stream. Okay, so if you read the pinned comment, all sound alert redeems are turned off for this stream to keep the calm atmosphere uninterrupted. Now, I'm a silly Billy. If you didn't know already, if you're new here, I'm a silly Billy, and I did forget to turn off bits and subs. So even though I have this thing in the bottom corner that says give me money, please don't give me money. Please don't give me money. I need new glasses, and my glasses are really expensive, and I need them to read things. But don't give me money this stream, please. Maybe no. That's the only thing that would be really loud, is if you... Oh, it didn't work. Oh, that's right. That's fine. That's okay. That one no, that's okay, Alice. Don't give any money over 10 bits. Don't give any money that's 10 bits or more. So you're safe. You did it. Alice did it without breaking the system. That's very nice. Is that rain from the nuke that was dropped? I sure hope not. It's so funny that we hear in your voice how much you were trying hard to stay quiet and screaming on the inside. Ha ha. Oh, sorry. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Ghost of Tsushima is confirmed on PC. It's so true. It's very good. No money? Sorry, the shark. It's okay. Me and the boys. When snowstorm. Snow war time. So anyway, once again, we will be exploring a variety of very fun topics, and I hope you can go through this journey with me. And friendly reminder that there is a point redeem. It's very expensive, so you don't have to buy it. If I'm nice enough, you may post Wikipedia articles in the chat, and I will take a look at them, and I may read them on stream. Please keep... Oh no, Alice has already activated the first one. That's okay. I have one to start off with, but then I will be very happy to read whatever Alice gives. Oh, I'm silly. I forgot to put in the wasn't it a chat redeem? Doesn't it need to put in a message? Ah, it's fine. It'll be okay. It'll be a-okay. Me in the background with Nuke aimed at Mail. I mean, what, you don't see anything behind you? Thankfully, this stream does not have the nuke. I made extra double sure that James cannot drop the nuke this stream. No, you can post it in the chat, Alice. I think I messed up with The redeem. The, read whatever Wikipedia article you want. Ah, here we go. Require viewer to enter text. There we go. Now I fixed it up. Going forward, it will be fixed. Don't worry, me saving for a certain person. I'm assuming it's going to be this week or next week for that certain person. Anyway, I keep interrupting myself. Apologies. Let us now begin some very relaxing reading. I hope you can all relax and chill out and put your mind at ease with the articles that I am about to read, okay? So, the Project MK Ultra was an illegal human experiments program designed and undertaken by the US Central Intelligence Agency, also known as the CIA, to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken people and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. It began in 1953 and was halted in 1973. MK Ultra used numerous methods to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions, such as the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD, and other chemicals within the subject's consent, electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal abuse, that's what I will say, and other forms of torture. MK Ultra was preceded by Project Artichoke. It was organized through the CIA's Office of Scientific Intelligence and coordinated with the United States Army Biological Warfare Laboratories. The program engaged in... You wouldn't believe this, guys. The program engaged in illegal activities, including the use of US and Canadian... Oh no, Alice. Oh no. And Canadian citizens as unwilling test subjects. MK Ultra's scope was broad, with activities carried out under the guise of research at more than 80 institutions aside from the military, including colleges and universities, hospitals, prisons, and pharmaceutical companies. The CIA operated using front organizations, although some top officials at these institutions were aware of the CIA's involvement. MK Ultra was revealed to the public in 1975 by the Church Committee of the United States Congress and Gerald Ford's United States President's Commission on CIA Activities within the United States, the Rockefeller Commission. Investigative efforts were hampered by CIA Director Richard Helms' orders that all MK Ultra files would be destroyed in 1973. The Church Committee and Rockefeller Commission investigations relied on the sworn testimony of direct participants and on the small number of documents that survived Helms' order. In 1977, a Freedom of Information Act request uncovered a cache of 20,000 documents relating to MK Ultra, which led to Senate hearings. Some surviving information about MK Ultra was declassified in 2001. Here's some background about the MK Ultra project. This is the origin of the project. During the 1940s, Nazi scientists working in the concentration camps of Auschwitz and Dachau conducted interrogation experiments on human subjects. Substances such as barbiturates, morphine derivatives, and hallucinogens such as mescaline were employed in experiments conducted on prisoners of war, which aimed to develop a truth serum which would, in the words of one laboratory assistant to Dachau assistant Kurt Pionnier, eliminate the will of the person examined. American historian Stephen Kinzer argues that the CIA project was a continuation of these earlier Nazi experiments, citing the numerous German scientists who were hired to work for the US and as a part of Operation Paperclip. American interest in drug-related interrogation experiments began in 1943 when the Office of Strategic Services began developing a truth drug that would produce uninhibited truthfulness in an interrogated person. In 1947, the United States Navy initiated Project Chatter. Chatter, 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 chatter. Chat, 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 chat. Chat, 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 chat. Chat. Chat, chat, chatter, 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 chatter. An interrogation project which saw the first testing of lysergic acid defluoride, or LSD-25, on human subjects. In 1950, the CIA, under the direction of General Walter Bedell Smith, initiated a series of interrogation projects involving human subjects, beginning with the launch of Project Bluebird, officially renamed Project Artichoke, on August 20th, 1951. Directed and overseen by Brigadier General Paul F. Gaynor, the objective of Artichoke was to determine whether an individual could be made to involuntarily perform an act of attempted assassination. Oh, I wonder why the CIA would want to do that. Morphine, mescaline, and LSD were all administered on unknowing CIA agents in an attempt to produce amnesia in the subjects. In addition, Project Artichoke aimed to employ certain viruses, such as dengue fever, as potential incapacitating agents. Wow, that was a really nice origin of the project of MKUltra. I really hope you guys learned some interesting facts today about the United States government and the CIA. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Okay. Mel, since when did you start doing ASMR? Today. Oh no. OMG. Guys, what did you do to this man? You're broke male. He needs money for glasses. Can't he just make meth and sell them? No. The good part of Europe. Finland, Norway, and Sweden. I knew everything about MKUltra. Well, I'm glad we have very, informed and intelligent viewers in my chat right now who can still get a rudimentary understanding from my relaxing talking and reading of this fascinating subject. Let's perhaps move on to something a little bit more light-hearted. Maybe just a little bit. I think, if anything, this might be fair warning to my precious viewers. I do have to warn you. The next subject may be sensitive. If you have an extreme irrational fear of Canadians, then can you please compose yourself? Please take a nice sitting position. Obviously, please make sure you are using headphones to get the full experience of this wonderful ASMR. But please brace yourself, as I will be discussing the horrified creatures known as Canadians. And I know that this may be a sensitive subject towards some people of the world, but it's okay. You know, ASMR is for a large variety of people, and it's okay to discuss both wholesome and sensitive topics in a calm and relaxing manner. So let us discuss maple syrup. Maple syrup is a syrup made from the sap of maple trees. In cold climates, these trees store starch in their trunks and roots before winter. The starch is then converted to sugar that rises in the sap in late winter and early spring. Maple trees are tapped by drilling holes into their trunks and collecting the sap, which is processed by heating to evaporate much of the water, leaving the concentrated syrup. Maple syrup was first made by the indigenous peoples of northeastern North America. The practice was adopted by European settlers who gradually changed production methods. Technological improvements in the 1970s further refined syrup processing. Virtually all of the world's maple syrup is produced in Canada and the United States. The United States, very interesting that they popped up again, The Canadian province of Quebec is the largest producer, responsible for 70% of the world's output. Canadian exports of maple syrup in 2016 were 487 million Canadian dollars, or about 360 US million dollars, with Quebec accounting for some 90% of this total. Maple syrup is graded based on its color and taste. Sucrose is the most prevalent sugar in maple syrup. In Canada, syrups must be made exclusively from maple sap to qualify as maple syrup and also be at least 66% sugar. In the United States, a syrup must be made almost entirely from maple sap to be labeled as maple, though states such as Vermont and New York have more restrictive definitions. Maple syrup is often used as a condiment for pancakes, waffles, French toast, oatmeal, or porridge. It is also used as an ingredient in baking and as a sweetener or flavoring agent. Culinary experts have praised its unique flavor, although the chemistry responsible is not fully understood. Sources: 3 species of maple acre trees are predominantly used to produce maple syrup: the sugar maple, or Acer saccharum, the black maple, A. nigrum, and the red maple, A. rubrum. Because of the high sugar content, roughly 2 to 5% in the sap of these species, the black maple is included as a subspecies or a variety in a more broadly viewed concept of A. saccharum, the sugar maple, by some botanists. Of these, the red maple has a shorter season because it buds earlier than sugar and black maples, which alters the flavor of the sap. A few other species of maple are also sometimes used as sources of sap for producing maple syrup, including the box elder, or Manitoba maple, Acer negundo, the silver maple, A. saccharinum, and the big leaf maple, A. macrophyllum. In the southeastern United States, Florida sugar maple, that's interesting. Acer floridium, of course Florida names it after themselves, is occasionally used for maple syrup production. Similar syrups may also be produced from walnuts, birch, or palm trees, among other sources. Let's hear a little history about maple syrup. The indigenous peoples. Indigenous peoples living in northeastern North America were the first groups known to have produced maple syrup and maple sugar. According to indigenous oral traditions as well as archaeological evidence, maple tree sap was being processed into syrup long before Europeans arrived in the region. There are no authenticated accounts of how maple syrup production and consumption began, but various legends exist. One of the most popular involves maple sap being used in place of water to cook venison served to a chief. Indigenous tribes developed rituals around syrup making, celebrating the sugar moon, the first full moon of spring, with a maple dance. Many Aboriginal dishes replaced the salt traditional in European cuisine with maple syrup. The Algonquians recognized maple sap as a source of energy and nutrients. At the beginning of the spring thaw, they made V-shaped incision in tree trunks. Then they inserted reeds or concave pieces of bark to run the sap into clay buckets or tightly woven birch bark baskets. The maple sap was concentrated first by leaving it exposed to the cold temperatures overnight and disposing of the layer of ice that formed on top. Following that, the sap was transported by sled to large fires where it was boiled in clay pots to produce maple syrup. Often, multiple pots were used in conjunction, with the liquid being transferred between them as it grew more concentrated. Contrary to popular belief, syrup was not typically produced by dropping heated stones into wooden bowls, especially in northeast North America where indigenous cultures had been using clay pots for thousands of years. However, modern and historic sources contain evidence that hot stones may have occasionally been used in the upper Midwest and Canada, where hollowed-out logs and birch bark containers typically replaced clay pots. Well, there you go, wouldn't you know? And here's a few quick little tidbits, facts of the maple syrup. Its place of origin: Canada and United States. Its main ingredients is the xylem sap, usually from sugar maple, red maple, or black maple. There you go, a little TLDR there, a little summary of maple syrup. I hope you enjoyed some interesting facts about Canadians' favorite export, maple syrup. Let us see what you guys have been saying. It's gonna be okay, everyone. Canadians don't bite. Only bears do. Thanks for the warning, Mayor. It is important. It's all connected. Fun fact, we have a maple syrup reserve here in Canada. It's funny because from what I've heard is, America likes to, store oil. In case of emergencies, they have large, massive reserves of oil. So it's really funny that, on one hand, America is like, oh, we must put away our oil to safeguard it for the future. And on the other hand, Canada is like, we must protect the maple syrup. Maple syrup is as important to us as oil is to the United States of America. I heard rats hate Alberta, Canada. Rats. I don't know about that. True. We must protect the maple syrup. It is a rat-free province. Lucky, lucky, lucky. When will it end? Maple syrup isn't good. Cap. Cap, cap, cap. What if the Manhattan Project fails? America also has 1.5 billion tons of cheese in underground caves. They also do that, yeah? They really like cheese. Okay. Now, thank you very much, everybody in my chat, for being very brave and for being able to get through the sensitive subject known as maple syrup. I know it may have startled some of you, especially those who are potentially fearful of the Canadians of the world. But let's move on to something a little more light-hearted, I think. A more fun subject, I think. A calming, relaxing subject, as brought to you by the Ace of Spades in my Twitch chat. It was not dark. That's... Why is it not dark? It's not dark. This is not good. It was light mode. That was cringe. Anyway, time for a more fun, light-hearted subject on the French invasion of Russia. The French invasion of Russia, also known as the Russian campaign, pardon my French, Campagne de Russie, and in Russia as the Patriotic War of 1812. I might be able to try French, but I certainly cannot do Russian, my apologies. Which was initiated by Napoleon with the aim of compelling the Russian Empire to comply with the continental blockade of the United Kingdom. Widely studied, Napoleon's incursion in Russia stands as a focal point in military history, recognized among the most devastating military endeavors globally. In a span of fewer than 6 months, the campaign exacted a staggering toll, claiming the lives of nearly 1 million soldiers and civilians. On the 24th of June 1812 and subsequent days, the initial wave of the multinational Grand Army crossed the Niemen River, making the entry from the Duchy of Warsaw into Russia. Employing extensive forced marches, Napoleon rapidly advanced his army of nearly 500,000 individuals through western Russia, encompassing present-day Belarus, in a bid to dismantle the disparate Russian forces led by Barclay de Tolly and Pyotr Bagration, totaling approximately 180,000 to 220,000 soldiers at that juncture. Despite losing half of his men within 6 weeks due to extreme weather conditions, diseases, and scarcity provisions, Napoleon emerged victorious in the Battle of Smolensk. However, the Russian army, now commanded by Mikhail Kutuzov, opted for a strategic retreat, employing attrition warfare against Napoleon, compelling the invaders to rely on an inadequate supply system, incapable of sustaining their vast army in the field. The fierce Battle of Bory Don, located at approximately 110 kilometers west of Moscow, concluded as a narrow victory for the French, although Napoleon was not able to beat the Russian army and Kutuzov could not stop the French. At the council at Phil, Kutuzov made the critical decision not to defend the city, but to orchestrate a general withdrawal, prioritizing the preservation of the Russian army. On the 14th of September, Napoleon and his roughly 100,000 strong army took control of Moscow, only to discover it deserted and set ablaze by its military governor, Fyodor Rostopchin. Remaining in Moscow for 5 weeks, Napoleon awaited a peace proposal that never materialized. Due to favorable weather conditions, Napoleon delayed his retreat, and hoping to secure supplies, began a different route westward than the one the army had devastated on the way there. However, after losing the Battle of Maloyaroslavets, he was compelled to retrace his initial path. As early November arrived, snowfall and frost complicated the retreat. Shortages of food and water, food and winter attire for the soldiers, and provision for the horses, combined with relentless guerrilla warfare from Russia peasants and Cossacks, resulted in significant losses. Once again, more than half of the soldiers perished on the roadside, succumbing to exhaustion, typhus, and the unforgiving continental climate. The once formidable Brandy army disintegrated into a disordered multitude, leaving the Russians with no alternative but to witness the crumbling state of the invasions. During the Battle of Krasnoy, Napoleon faced a critical scarcity of cavalry and artillery due to severe snowfall and icy conditions. Employing a strategic maneuver, he deployed the Old Guard against Miodorovich, who obstructed the primary road to Krasny, effectively isolating him from the main army. Devout successfully broke through. Eugene de Beauharnais and Michael Ney were forced to take a detour. Despite the consolidation of several retreating French corps with the main army, by the time they reached Berezina, Napoleon commanded only around 49,000 troops, alongside 40,000 struggles of little military significance. On the 5th of December, Napoleon departed from the army at Smorgony in a sled and returned to Paris. Within a few days, an additional 20,000 people succumbed to the bitter cold and diseases carried by lice. Murat and Ney assumed command, pressing forward but leaving only 20,000 men in the hospitals of Vinalus. The remnants of the principal armies, disheartened, crossed the frozen Niemen and the Bug. While exact figures remain elusive due to the absence of meticulous records, estimations varied and often included exaggerated counts, overlooking auxiliary troops. Napoleon's initial force upon entering Russia exceeded 450,000 men, accompanied by over 150,000 horses, approximately 25,000 wagons, and nearly 1,400 artillery pieces. However, the surviving count dwindled to a mere 120,000 men, excluding early deserters, signifying a staggering loss of approximately 380,000 lives throughout the campaign, half of which resulted from diseases. This catastrophic outcome shattered Napoleon's once untarnished reputation of invincibility. We will read a little bit about the background of why this war started, perhaps. From 1972 onwards, France found itself frequently embroiled in conflicts with major European powers, a direct aftermath of the French Revolution. Napoleon, rising to power in 1799 and assuming autocratic rule over France, orchestrated numerous military campaigns that led to the establishment of the First French Empire. Starting in 1803, the Napoleonic Wars served as a testament to Napoleon's military prowess. He secured victories in the War of the Third Coalition between 1803 to 1806, leading to the dissolution of the 1,000-year-old Holy Roman Empire, the War of the Fourth Coalition from 1806 to 1807, and the War of the Fifth Coalition in 1809. In 1807, following a French triumph at Friedland, Napoleon and Alexander I of Russia signed the Treaty of Tilsit along the Nerman River. These treaties progressively solidified Russia's alignment with France, allowing Napoleon to exert dominance over neighboring states. The accord rendered Russia an ally of France, leading to their adoption of the continental system, a blockade aimed at the United Kingdom. However, the treaty imposed significant economic strain on Russia, prompting Tsar Alexander to break away from the continental blockade on December 31st, 1810. This decision left Napoleon without his primary foreign policy tool against the United Kingdom. The Treaty of Sherbrooke, concluding the 1809 conflict between Austria and France, included a clause that transferred Western Galicia from Austria and annexing it into the Grand Duchy of Warsaw. This move was seen unfavorably by Russia, perceiving the territory's annexation as a potential threat for a French invasion plot. Russia's foreign minister at the time, Nikolai Romanov, advocated for a closer alliance with France in response. In an attempt to secure greater cooperation from Russia, Napoleon pursued an alliance by proposing marriage to Anna Pavlovna, the younger sister of Alexander. However, he ultimately married Marie Louise, the daughter of the Austrian Emperor. Subsequently, France and Austria solidified their relationship by signing an alliance treaty on the 14th of March 1812. In March 1811, Marshal Devout received orders to clandestinely prepare for a demonstration of military strength aimed at impressing Russia. This plan involved deploying Dutch troops to Magdeburg and occupying the Baltic ports Stelzen and Danzig. During this period, Napoleon's physical and mental condition underwent changes. He experienced weight gain and increasing susceptibility to various health issues. In May of 1812, he left his palace in St. Cloud. 1 month later, he arrived in Toruń. There we go. I hope we all learnt a little bit of some interesting facts and details about Napoleon's French invasion of Russia in the 1800s. Let's see what your guys' thoughts are at. What if the Manhattan Project failed? There was actually a case in the past of someone stealing lots of maple syrup from the reserve and reselling it at a better price. There are a lot of cases about maple syrup contraband law. Why are you Canadians always trying to fight each other over the maple syrup? You just need like one big great maple syrup battle royale. One big fight to the death. Whoever's the last man, woman, or child standing may take complete and utter control over the maple syrup industry of Canada. Germany tried to beat French twice. It's funny how I had to learn that back in high school. It's like I'm reliving my high school years. Well, there you go. If that's what the mailman is here for fun, interesting, and engaging, relaxing streams of world history. Do Davy Crockett nuclear device next? 902, please. I'm doing everybody's articles in order. Yours is the next one. Buddy Mail, blink twice. Buddy Mail, blink twice, is holding you hostage. You mean the little guy? Do you mean this guy? This guy right here? He's not holding me hostage. I think I blinked like 3 times, so it doesn't really work that much. He's not, Mini Mail is not holding me hostage. Thank you very much. The Fat Man IRL. Okay. Wouldn't that be me holding Mail hostage? I hope not. You know who would be holding me hostage though? A certain man that starts with U and ends with T, and he likes to give me a lot of money. Continuing on with the fun and relaxing subjects to discuss on this stream, we will now be taking a look into the Davy Crockett, the nuclear device specifically. The M28 or M29 Davy Crockett weapon system was a tactical nuclear recoilless smoothbore gun for firing the M388 nuclear projectile, armed with a W-54 nuclear warhead that was deployed by the United States during the Cold War. It was the first project assigned to the United States Army Weapon Command in Rock Island, Illinois. It remains one of the smallest nuclear weapon systems ever built, with a yield of 20 tons of TNT, or 85 84 GJs of TNT, whatever GJ is supposed to be. It is named after the American folk hero, soldier, and congressman Davy Crockett. History. By the year 1950, there had been rapid developments made in the use of nuclear weapons after the detonation of Little Boy and, Batman in 1944, which of course, as 90210 in chat points out, this is the Fat Man in New Vegas, but it's named after this Fat Man as well. These developments paved the way for nuclear warheads to be created at a smaller size. Advances in nuclear weapons technology, spurred on by the first detonation of the Soviet nuclear bomb in 1949, led to great reductions in the size of nuclear weapons. By 1957, the Atomic Energy Commission, or the AEC, declared that it created a small fission warhead that could be deployed for frontline use by infantrymen. AEC made Major General John H. Hinrichs the leader in turning the warhead into a weapon system under the Battle Group Atomic Delivery System. Ooh, that sounds like a mailman thing. Or the BGADS program, which began at Piccadilly Arsenal in New Jersey in January 1958. Hello, Racing. I hope you are doing well. There is no reason to be concerned. We are simply having a nice, fun, relaxing, calming experience here on the Mailman channel, in which we take a delve into a variety of subjects throughout world history. I do hope you can sit back, perhaps grab a cup of tea or coffee, maybe some snacks, and I hope you can put your mind to ease. Maybe enjoy this while you're working, or studying, or trying to relax, maybe take a little nap, and find out some fun, interesting facts about certain topics throughout history, of course. In August 1958, the Army began to officially refer to the BGADS as the Davy Crockett, after the American folk hero who died in the Battle of the Alamo in 1836. After 4 years of testing at Fort Greely and Wainwright in Alaska, and the Yuma Test Station in Arizona, the M28/M29 Davy Crockett entered service in May of 1961. Davy Crockett sections were assigned to the United States Army Europe. That's a very funny name. Look at the effective range and the blast radius. There's a reason they decommissioned it. If you fired it, you dead. That's usually what happens in Fallout as well. The were assigned to the United States Army Europe, which included 7th United States Army and Pacific Theater 8th United States Army army units and mechanized and non-mechanized infantry battalions. During alerts to the inner German border in the Fulda Gap, Davy Crockett's accompanied the battalions. All 7th Army's V Corps, including 3rd Armored Division's combat maneuver battalions, had pre-assigned positions in the Fulda Gap. These were known as the GDP, General Defense Plan positions. The Davy Crockett sections were included in these defensive deployment plans. In addition to the Davy Crockett's example assigned to the 3rd Armored Division, 7 Army's V Corps had nuclear artillery rounds. That's insane. And atomic demolition munitions, and these were also for potential use in the Fulda Gap. On the Korean Peninsula, 8th Army units assigned the Davy Crockett weapons primarily planned to use the passes that funneled armorers killing grounds, creating temporary deadly radioactive zones, roadblocked by destroyed tanks and other vehicles. Production of the Davy Crockett began at the Piccadilly Arsenal following the August 15, 1958 approval of the design. There was approval for funding of 6,247 to be manufactured, but a total of 2,100 were actually made. Well, that's almost a quarter. 714M101. Ooh, I know that number because you can get that in the Frontier mod of Fallout. Hello, Long. Welcome on in. I do hope you can sit back and relax and enjoy this comforting stream. 714M101 depleted uranium-thin spotter rounds were fired in training between 1962 and 1968 at the Pakulaka training area on Hawaii Island. The weapon was deployed with U.S. Army forces from 1961 to 1971. The 55th and 56th Infantry platoons attached to the division artillery of the U.S. 82nd Airborne Division were the last units equipped with the M29 Davy Crockett weapon system. These two units were parachute deployed, and with a half a short ton or 0.45 tons truck per section, 3 per platoon were fully air-droppable. The units were deactivated in mid of 1968. The Davy Crockett's nuclear warhead, the M388, was removed from U.S. Army Europe in West Germany in August 1967. The last nuclear-equipped warhead was retired in 1971. Brigadier General Alvin Cohen, Assistant Division Commander of 3rd Armored Division, while stating the weapon was a significant advance in technical terms and that the laboratory responsible deserved a great deal of credit, further stated that the armor retired the weapon due to the personal costs associated with it, as apparent great fear that some sergeant would start a nuclear war. Wow, you don't think so, huh? Like all but the 2nd and 3rd nuclear weapons ever completed, the Davy Crockett was never used in combat. Since their retirement, Davy Crockett systems have been preserved in many museums throughout the United States. In 2005, the Army announced that it uncovered 600 pounds, that's roughly 270 kilos, of depleted uranium from the training sites used for the Davy Crockett's inert rounds to be practice fire. They said that 12,405 acres, or about 5,020 eight, I don't know, of land, hectares, maybe, I'm not, of land could likely be tainted by these training days. Damn. And here's some general information about the M28 and M29 Davy Crockett. It obviously is a nuclear recoilless gun. It was obviously originated from the United States, obviously. It was used by the United States during the Cold War. It had two different production variants, the M28 and the M29. And the specifications, it weighed about 108.5 pounds, or 49.2 kilos unloaded. And that was the 108. That was the M28. And the M29 weighed about 316 pounds, or about 143 kilos when it was unloaded. And it required a crew of 5 people to operate this as well, actually. Elevation, 5 to 800 miles. Oh no, apologies. 5 to 800 milliradians, which is 0.3 to 45 degrees. Effective firing range. The M28 could fire up to 1.25 miles, which is about 2 kilometers. And the M29 could fire about 2.5 miles, or 4 kilometers. And its blast yield was 20 tons of TNT. There we go. So those weren't, rounds. I feel like in Fallout you should have to wear power armor to carry on. Well, you do get a lot of radiation and you can kill yourself with one, so it makes sense either way. Let us move on to a very fun and one of my personal favorite subjects of mine, actually. I want you guys to learn a little bit about my personal Australian history. We've been very North American and European focused so far. We've delved into very fascinating subjects about the United States MK Ultra project, the famous Canadian condiment syrup. I'm not sure where you would describe maple syrup. We learned about the famous Canadian maple syrup. We learned about Napoleon's French invasion of Russia, and of course we just learned then about the Davy Crockett nuclear device. But I would like to take a little gander, a little gaze, a little read through of some personal favorite Australian history of mine, and this is the greatest defeat in Australian war, and that is of course the Emu War, or colloquially known as the Great Emu War, which was a nuisance wildlife management military operation undertaken in Australia over the later part of 1932 to address public concern over the number of emus, a large flightless bird indigenous to Australia. Thank you for the clarification there, as if almost nobody knows what an emu is, apparently, which said to be destroying crops in the Campion district within the wheat belt of Western Australia. The unsuccessful attempts to curb the population of emus employed the Royal Australian Artillery soldiers armed with Lewis guns, leading the media to adopt the name Emu War when referring to the incident. Although many birds were killed, the emu population persisted and continued to cause crop destruction. So basically, we lost a war against emus. It's very unfortunate. We lost a lot of good men and women that day. My great-great-great-grandfather, he lost his leg in the war, and he just wasn't the same afterwards. It's very sad, honestly. The location of this war was, of course, in the Campion district of Western Australia. It was planned by Sir George Pearce. Its objective was to reduce the local emu population, and it occurred between the 2nd of November to the 10th of December in 1932, for about 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day. And this was executed, of course, by the Australian Army, led by Major Gwynedd Pers Wyn Albury, Meredith, the Royal Australian Artillery. And the final outcome of this horrible war that should not have had to ever happen in the first place was that 986 emus were confirmed killed. The there was a minimal impact on the overall emu population. But and I think this is where you have to always take Wikipedia articles like with a grain of salt. They're not really like kept up to date very often, and they're not well maintained. But there were countless lives, countless casualties and injuries on the Royal Australian side as well. I think we need to get some editors on here. This is a call out to Wikipedia. We need to update this Wikipedia page and make sure that the correct information is being spread about this horrible incident that did not need to occur in my nation's history. Obviously we should keep future generations informed of our national travesties as well as we possibly can. But anyway, let me give you a little bit of the background of the Great Emu War of Australia. Following World War One, large numbers of discharged veterans who served in the war were given land by the Australian government to take up farming within Western Australia, often in agriculturally marginal areas. With the onset of the Great Depression in 1929, these farmers were encouraged to increase their wheat crops, with the government promising and failing to deliver assistance in the form of subsidies. In spite of the recommendations and the promised subsidies, wheat prices continued to fall, and by October 1932, the situation intensified, with the farmers preparing to harvest the season's crop while simultaneously threatening to refuse to deliver the wheat. The farmers' difficulties were worsened by the arrival of approximately 20,000 emus. We were outmatched, outmanned, outgunned. For any of you who don't know here in the audience, to my non-Australians in the chat, friendly reminder that although emus are considered flightless birds, they cannot fly. That does not stop them from using weaponry, guns, firearms. They may not know how to fly, but they can still shoot you. So please keep that in mind. Emus regularly migrate after their breeding season, heading to the coast from inland regions. With a cleared land and additional water supplies being made available for livestock by the Western Australian farmers, the emus found that the cultivated lands were good habitat, and they began to foray into farm territory, in particular the marginal farming land around Chandler and Walgalan. The emus consumed and spoiled the crops and left large gaps in fences where rabbits could enter and cause further problems. Farmers relayed their concerns about the birds ravaging their crops, and a deputation of ex-soldiers was sent to meet with the Minister of Defence. The Minister of Defence of our country, this is a very serious matter. Like, the emus were doing a war of attrition. They were starving us out. They were destroying our crops. Honestly, I'm actually genuinely surprised that that Mr. Emu, the military leader on the emu side, he was not charged with war crimes, because I do believe that this would have been against the Geneva Convention. They were destroying food supplies that were meant to go to us Australian citizens, and honestly, I'm so shocked to this very day that he was not tried in a war council, and he was not punished for his war crimes. Please hashtag justice to Mr. Emu. He needs to be brought to justice for his horrible crimes in this atrocity. But yeah, so the Minister of Defence, Sir George Pearce, having served in World War One, the soldier settlers were well aware of the effectiveness of machine guns, and they requested their deployment. The minister readily agreed, although with conditions attached. The guns were to be used by military personnel, troop transport was to be financed by the Western Australian government, and the farmers would provide food, accommodation, and payment for the ammunition. What they don't know, though, is that this was ultimately the downfall of the Royal Australian Artillery Corps, as by bringing in the machine guns to deal with the emus, they were inadvertently bringing the machine guns to the emus, who, when they struck down an Australian soldier, they would pick up his machine gun and use it against us. So it was the very weapons that we took to use against them, they used against us to ultimately defeat us, unfortunately. Pearce also supported the deployment on the grounds that the birds would make good target practice. It has also been argued that some in the government may have viewed the operation as a way of being seen to be helping the Western Australian farmers, as well as to stave off the brewing secession movement. Towards the end, a cinematographer from Fox Morvatine was enlisted. Of course, this was a very devastating war. We had to bring in a trained cinematographer to encapsulate, to film the the horrible events that occurred on those fateful days. Hello, Paladin. I do hope you are having a good day today. And who else did I see? And Harold Holt as well. Of course, the wonderful Harold Holt. Of course, he's come in to reminisce about on the travesties that our country had to go through. Of course, he would make his appearance for this stream. Soldier, you see that valley? Yes, Sergeant. I don't want it anymore. Yes, sir. Between the Emu War, or should I summon? Oh my god, I like how 902 guessed that I was going to do the Emu War. The Emu War, the emus were savages. ASMR, not what I expected from Mail. Well, this is a very, very special, maybe only one-time affair. At the end of the day, I just wanted to create a very calming, relaxing atmosphere and talk about very fun, laid-back, subjects of the history of our world. Give a little bit of cultural knowledge of different events that happened to different peoples of the world. Okay, and unfortunately, we have had to talk about some sensitive subjects today. Fair warning to anyone who has come in recently. But earlier we had to discuss maple syrup, which I know. Sorry, trigger warning. That's a very sensitive subject towards those who do not like Canadians. It may bring back bad memories of the atrocities that the Canadians have inflicted upon the world. I'm starting to tear up. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice. It really it brings back bad memories. Sorry, I'm trying to compose myself. This is ultimately this is a fun stream, a fun laid back stream in which we discuss very fun, relaxing subjects such as the United States CIA's MK Ultra project, Napoleon's French invasion of Russia, the Davy Crockett nuclear device, and of course the atrocities inflicted on us Australians in the Emu War. Very fun, wholesome, family-friendly subjects. But at the end of the day, it's good to discuss and look into a wide variety of different subjects, even if some may be as sensitive and as provocative as maple syrup invented by the Canadians. We have to discuss many different things. Well, I was about to work, but I think I'll go to sleep now. Good night. No worries, Paladin. I do hope you can enjoy this fun, relaxing stream. Why weren't you at work? So I was listening to Mailman ASMR stream. Understandable. Have a great day. Can we learn about my favorite Australian meat? Sounds like there could be an Emu War movie coming. Oot Imiad. They do have talons. They do indeed. Understood. I'll wear full armor when going to Australia. Please look after yourself, Alice. Even though the Emu War was nearly 100 years ago, I would like to bring up the fact that emus are near on immortal. Honestly, I'm quite thankful and surprised that the Royal Australian Artillery Corps actually did as well as they did against the onslaught of the emus, due to their high vitality. They're almost impossible to be struck down. Killing how much was it? 985, 986 emus. That number alone, it's unbelievable that they managed to take down that many as it stands. Yes, unfortunately, to this very day, there are still remnants of Mr. Emu's army. Some survivors of the Emu War, on the Emu side, still live to this very day and have gone unpunished for the war crimes and atrocities that they committed on the 2nd of November to the 10th of December 1932. So, please, friendly reminder, for anyone who ever comes to Australia, please make sure you're prepared and you are safe against the emus. Okay, you must be very very careful when confronting. Don't even confront emus. Do not go anywhere near an emu. Okay, it's better ultimately to live a long life to never have to deal with emus. Okay. Indeed, my great grandfather was shot by an emu. It's nice to, obviously, ultimately this is a very fun, family friendly subject, but it is still nice to see that me and my chat, members of my chat, we can come together as a community and we can, speak about the grief and torment that, we had, our families had to go through, in this great, national catastrophe, of our nation's history. We can come together, we can mourn, and we can reminisce, what happened to, our family members. I shot some emus once. Good, good. Those fuckers just. Yes. It is obviously, beneficial in the long run to make sure the remnants of Mr. Emu's army does not live anymore. He's not dead. He's in cryo sleep in Argentina. I recommend reading the Wikipedia page on Australian cuisine. Bloody sure, mate. No problem. No problem there, matey-o. I was summoned by the talk of emus, of course you were. Hello, welcome on in, Alex. I do hope you are doing well. Emu War, that's the one you guys lost in. Very sadly, yes, of course, yeah. Calming, relaxing. I don't believe. Are you not calmed? Are you not relaxed right now, Sir Paladin? Are you not at ease when hearing my wonderful voice talk about these fun, wholesome topics? The page on me lies. It's some dead cap. Yes, we don't like Canadians. Very sensitive subject indeed, for sure. There's a book that claims you were a communist Chinese spy. We are terrible. Canada should stop being Canada. We did write most of the Geneva Convention. Well, I am on their moon base, so they're not far off. Fun fact, the Emu War was never ended. The Emu already took over the government. The Aussies just don't want you... No. Alex, the rumors of, the Mr. Emu's, soldiers, like sneaking into our government unfounded. Unfounded. There is no evidence to support these claims. While the remnants of his army does survive to this very day, they did not gain any sort of political standing in our country. From my understanding, most of the remnants migrated to the island state of Tasmania, and of course that means they would eventually go on to marry and further their generations with the peoples of Tasmania. So friendly reminder for any non-Australians who don't know this. This is obviously default Australian knowledge. All Australians know this. This is common knowledge, right? We get taught this in school. That any Tasmanians, they are of course half breeds of emus. The generations before them, the remnants of Mr. Emu's army, had children with Tasmanian humans, and thus their lines still continue on. Canada should rename themselves to Canada. Aussie, desert, weird fauna, and emu. For years, the four parts of Aussies lived together in harmony, but everything changed when the emu nation attacked. Certainly, that is what happened to Alex. I will be careful. I know how to survive the Canadian wildlife, but I'm unfamiliar with the Australian one, especially the emus. I'll be super careful. Thank you, Alice. Careful. Animal cruelty, Twitch rules. Smaller thinks he can act like he's some calm and collected person. Who knew Vicky tricking? We all know how your ass is like. Alex, please do not ruin the calming, relaxing mood of this stream. I am trying to create a satisfying, wholesome experience for those in my chat to enjoy and calm down to. So please keep the mood light and friendly. Speaking like a real emu in disguise. Now, did you hit 100 joints or something? Mr. Paladin's friendly reminder that the mailman does not partake in recreational drug use, nor does he even drink alcohol or smoke regular tobacco. The mailman is a clean-edge straight boy, and he does not do any naughty things. And being a public figure here live on twitch.tv/themailman_ttv, Also does not publicly condone the use of illegal substances. Quite frankly, illegal substances, however. So no, I've not partaken in the how do you people call it, the devil's lettuce, the Mary Jane. I do not partake in such frivolities. No, thank you. The mailman is simply wanting to create a very calm atmosphere for all you guys in chat. And quite frankly, Mr. Paladin, for you bringing up such allegations, I'm actually honestly offended. I've come here today presenting a wide variety of historical information to inform my audience of the history of the world, and you trying to take away my hard work. It's honestly quite disheartening. So let's simply move on from that. The male emu. General the male like calming, relaxing. My man, he's lying. He's drinking so bad he might as well be Irish. Even above Irish, he Vulcan. But it's 20 past 8 in the fucking morning. Get that up, yeah. What the hell are you on about, 902? Be right, a Barack Obama. Oh no. Oh no, I think that's probably going to lead me into my next subject, actually. Let me get it primed and ready. Okay, so moving on to again another family-friendly, wholesome, light-hearted subject. This is the Wedge Timbuktu wedding party airstrike, as orchestrated by the United States President Barack Obama. So the Wedge Timbuktu wedding party airstrike refers to the killing of about 37 Afghan civilians, mostly women and children, and injuring about 27 others by a United States military airstrike on November 3rd, 2008, under the administration of Barack Obama, the current serving United States, at the time, the current serving United States President. The group was celebrating a wedding at a housing complex in the village of Wedge Timbuktu, a Taliban stronghold in the Shah Wali Kot district of Kandahar province, Afghanistan. The airstrike followed a firefight breaking out between US troops and Taliban forces stationed on a mountain behind the wedding party. And on the 7th of November 2008, Afghan officials said a joint investigation found that 37 civilians and 26 insurgents were killed in Wedge Timbuktu. Wedding parties in Afghanistan are segregated by sex of the civilians. 23 were children, 10 were women, and 4 were men. And of course, a friendly reminder that this was done under the sitting president at the time, Barack Obama. And over 27 persons were injured, including the bride herself. The bombing destroyed the housing complex where women and children had gathered to celebrate. On the 5th of November, Afghan President Hamid Karzai responded by demanding that newly elected US President Barack Obama end civilian deaths, stating, "Our demand is that there will be no civilian casualties in Afghanistan. We cannot win the fight against terrorism with airstrikes. This is my first demand of the new President of the United States to put an end to civilian casualties." Awfully funny that he said that after the attack. He was, of course, the sitting president and led to these attacks to begin with in the first place. So it is awfully, ironic, one might say. Ironic, I think, is the word I would use, that this attack happened under him. But anyway. The train's starting a warehouse. He's going back to his... What the hell are you on about, Alex? Please keep the mood lighthearted and friendly. I may have to time any, rabble rousers in my chat. I may have to time you out if you are not keeping the peace and you are not maintaining a friendly atmosphere, okay? The Canada again, everything is linked. Well, wait, Obama did that? Kind of base. Let's go, Barack. You were kind of cool. Those are not my words. Those were the words of one of my chatters in chat. Alex Tujiro, please remember that. Yeah. But of course, if anybody else in chat would like me to read a particular Wikipedia article, of course, please keep NSFW subjects to a complete bare minimum. absolutely necessary, and but I'm happy to read whatever Wikipedia articles you guys in chat may want me to. We can explore a wide variety of fun, wholesome, family-friendly, interesting, worldly subjects, of which I can educate you, and yeah, yeah. Let us peek into let's look into some other subjects that maybe that I could explore. Um, hmm, hmm. I think we need something different, something that's I feel like we've been going down the line of very similar subjects, uh, s- so forth. We should do something a little bit more different, I reckon. Um, hmm, 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 hmm. I'm unsure. I am honestly unsure. I'm unsure as to what we should look at next. Um, uh, hmm. Ba, 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 ba. Read Vlad the Impaler's page. It's very family friendly. Vlad the Impaler, of course. Very famous Strasberry jam. I think you meant to say strawberry jam, Alice. I will do Vlad the Impaler first, as that was unfortunately beaten slightly by Alex, baguette, croissants, all the famous French dishes. Okay, okay. Of course, another wholesome, family-friendly. This is a very interesting man to learn about. Everybody in history, everybody in the world should learn about this man. It's very fascinating to delve into the psyche of such a beloved, political figure of the world. I don't feel like I have a bad reputation in this community. Hmm. I wonder why, Alex. I wonder why. Of course. Yeah, we must, of course, delve into the psyche of such a beloved man known as Vlad the Impaler. As you can see here with this wonderful self-portrait of the man himself, his beauty, his pure raw essence of captivating power and authority, but also friendly and charismatic demeanor, was captured here. And honestly, it's a stunning piece. It's a shining example of classical artworks. And I mean, just look at this man's lavish hair and plump mustache, and his choice of clothing to wear. He really rocked the fashion uh, in the 1400s. This was the peak of 1400s fashion design. He was at the cutting edge, and he was a fashion icon for many people during the 1400s. This is a man that we can look to for inspiration. He really is loved in our country. Nature was not kind to him. I'm so sorry, but it's so funny. He's quite a nice looking man. Oh yeah, his paint screams power. Anyway. Beep. This is Vlad the Third. Vlad the Third, commonly known as Vlad the Impaler, or Romanian, Vlad Tepes, or Vlad Dracula, was the voivodode of Wallachia three times between 1448 and his death in either 1476 or 1477. He's often considered one of the most important rulers in Wallachian history and a national hero of Romania. He was the second son of Vlad Dracul, who became the ruler of Wallachia in 1436. Vlad and his younger brother Radu were held as hostages in the Ottoman Empire in 1442 to secure their father's loyalty. Vlad's eldest brother Mircea and her father were murdered after John Hunyadi, region governor of Hungary, invaded Wallachia in 1447. Hunyadi installed Vlad's second cousin, Vladislav II, as the new voivodode. Hunyadi launched a military campaign against the Ottomans in the autumn of 1448, and Vladislav accompanied him. Vlad broke into Wallachia with Ottoman support in October, but Vladislav returned, and Vlad sought refuge in the Ottoman Empire before the end of the year. Vlad went to Moldavia in 1449 or 1450 and later to Hungary. Relations between Hungary and Vladislav later deteriorated, and in 1456 Vlad invaded Wallachia with Hungarian support. Vladislav died fighting against him. Vlad became a purge among the Wallachian boyars to strengthen his position. He came into conflict with the Transylvanian Saxons, who supported his opponents Dan and Basarab Laiota, who were Vladislav's brothers, and Vlad's illegitimate half-brother, Vlad Kaligarul. Vlad plundered the Saxon villages, taking the captured people to Wallachia, where he had them impaled, which inspired his Konigmen. Very nice. But peace was restored in 1460. The Ottoman Sultan, then at the time Mehmed II, ordered Vlad to pay homage to him personally, but Vlad had the Sultan's two envoys captured and impaled. In February 1462, he attacked Ottoman territory, massacring tens of thousands of Turks and Muslim Bulgarians. Mehmed launched a campaign against Wallachia to replace Vlad with Vlad's younger brother Radu. Vlad attempted to capture the Sultan at Targostivt during the night of the 16th or 17th of June 1462. The Sultan and the main Ottoman army left Wallachia, but more and more Wallachians deserted to Radu. Vlad went to Transylvania to seek assistance from Matthias Corvinus, the king of Hungary, in late 1462, but Corvinus had him imprisoned. Vlad was held in captivity in Visegrad from 1463 to 1475. During this period, anecdotes about his cruelty started to spread in Germany and Italy. He was released at the request of Stephen III of Moldavia in the summer of 1475. He fought in Corvinus' army against the Ottomans in Bosnia in early 1476. Hungarian and Moldavian troops helped him to force Basarab Laiota, who had dethroned Vlad's brother Radus, to flee from Wallachia in November. Basarab returned to Ottoman support before the end of the year. Vlad was killed in battle before the 10th of January 1477. Books describing Vlad's cruel acts were among the first bestsellers in the German-speaking territories. In Russia, popular stories suggested that Vlad was able to strengthen his central government only by applying brutal punishments, and many 19th century Romanian historians adapted a similar view. Vlad's patronymic inspired the name of Bram Stoker's literary vampire, Count Dracula. So there you go, very fun, wholesome, family-friendly, like Romanian, European history of such a beloved man. I mean, obviously, nowadays, we all know Count Dracula. Count Dracula is a household name. Kids love him. Kids love to dress up as Count Dracula for Halloween. He's such a lovable guy. He goes, I suck your blood, ha ha ha. It's so much so that he's, they made a version of him in Sesame Street. Throughout the whole world, people love Count Dracula. And this wonderful man, Vlad the Impaler, was the inspiration to Count Dracula. So obviously you can see the charismatic sort of connection there. How this man were to inspire, such a lovable household name, and the similarities that they hold. So thank you very much for delving into this subject. It was a very good topic to bring up, Alex. Thank you. He pronounced Dracula wrong. A great start already. Well, do I look like I am European of any variety? No, I do not. I mean, actually, Europeans are white, so what am I trying to say? I obviously look white as well. Anyway. Hello, Paladin. Dracula was not his name. It's Dracula. I have no idea. Do you see the little thing above you? That means it's no longer an A. Okay. Then what is it? Well, so that's called an accent. Draculia, which is pronounced as well, it's hard to explain. Give me another word with the sound, but Dracula, it's not something that any Romanian before 1900s. Give me a minute. Also, the English pronunciation for Dracula is what Mail probably said exactly, the most commonly accepted pronunciation, and thus is most likely the correct one. Now to Count his name it's pronounced. Okay, so, thank you very much for delving into that wholesome, family-friendly subject obviously, a wonderful history lesson on the inspirational figure of Count Dracula, that being Vlad the Impaler. And we'll of course move on to one of Alice's more sensitive subjects. Obviously, apologies in advance. Alice, in my community, is very well known for her very dark humor. She likes to talk about a lot of sensitive subjects. So please, apologies in advance to any sort of dark subject matter that may be brought up in the Wikipedia articles that she has recommended. Um, uh, and thus, of course, we'll be talking about everybody's favorite spread. By favorite, I mean least favorite, because it's so terrifying. It's honestly like it's so terrifying. I shouldn't even be talking about it. Honestly, it's like I think I might get banned on Twitch for discussing such a dangerous topic. It's very taboo, very taboo. And that of course is being strawberry jam. Strawberry jam, just from the get go, we already know that it's the color of red. It's bloody. It's just look at this. Just look at this. I'll get out of the way. Look at that. That looks like a dead body. Honestly, if you really like look at it, if you stand 50 feet away and squint your eyes and you're blind in your left eye, and you're drunk and it looks like a carcass, like a car crash. A mutilated body. So whoa, what's happening now? Oh my god. Okay, I'm so shaken. I'm so scared and terrified of this strawberry jam and the subject that I have to discuss next, that I'm quite literally shaking in my boots. I am quivering in my pants for it being such a a dark subject. Let us quickly catch up in chat. That would be a little more accurate. His name was never Dracula. That's just fiction. Well, I mean, we read the Wikipedia page, so yeah. I also find it funny the sheer number of your viewers were specifically from Romania. Paladin, it's 2. It's only 2. Their names are Lom and Alex. Those are the only 2. I love dark humor. Very sorry, everyone. It's okay, Alice. It's okay. We all like a variety of subjects, which is also fun since the name Dracula means the devil. So Dracula in itself has the word devil in it. The more you know. Well, there you go. That is actually a good information, Alex. Thank you. I just love dark subjects. You are a maniac beyond any understanding. Looking respectfully. Mailman gets banned live on Twitch. Looks like something from The Walking Dead, The Walking Rot. Oh, he's nervous. I know. I'm so sorry to be such a creep. OMG, man. OMG. Wait, this is not... Okay, anybody who thinks me vibrating is very sus. Okay, listen. I'm shaking. I'm scared. I'm quivering in my boots. I have to discuss... Like, I have to compose myself, right? Like, before I even tackle such a topic as strawberry jam, okay? Passive officer, take him away. We're losing him. Too many. I thought Unit as well. Unit is from the Czech Republic, formerly known as Czechoslovakia, formerly known as Bohemia, and also a part of the Czech Republic is also Moravia, which is where Unit has disclosed he lives in specifically. So he is definitely not Romanian. Czechian is quite far away from Romania, if I'm being honest. And by quite far away, I mean only 2 countries away, but still. John Cena chilling with Mail. Exactly, of course. We're just vibing right now. I think Mail is sitting on a washing machine. Mail just looks like he's been lazing around playing games all day, but still wants to get his exercise in. All of my history I know about Bohemian, it's cause I played Kingdom Come Deliverance. Very base, very base. Anyway, sorry, I'm still sort of shaking. I need to get my nerves together. So when I calm down, I will try and... Also, I'm an idiot, by the way. This is not the right Wikipedia page. Moving on, let's go to fruit preserves and jam. Here we go. That Wikipedia article that I was looking at was a musical thing, apparently. My bad. My sincerest apologies, everybody in chat. Um, okay, so yes, we will be. This is a type of jam. It appears that it doesn't have its own specific Wikipedia article, but that is okay. Not really that far, TBH, but I get your point. Yeah. So here we go. This is. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm sorry, Twitch. Please do not ban me from this. This is honestly the most graphic image we've had to look at today. This is extremely disturbing. Like, just look at that. Like, wow, that is like shockingly like bright red, the color of human blood and viscera. Um, yeah, like, I'm surprised this is even allowed a Wikipedia page. This is something that you would find on like the dark web, I think. Like, this is actually like, like nefarious in nature. I think to protect, like, children, we shouldn't be highlighting such subjects like on the internet. We should be trying our best to uh, get rid of such sensitive subjects. It's just honestly crazy that the internet is unregulated as it is in the modern era. But sadly, yeah, we will be discussing jam, and obviously, specifically strawberry jam, of course. The picture I just showed then was actually lingonberry jam, but I think for the most part, people would consider that strawberry jam. It is a type of berry that is red. Um, this is something email, which I know. I apologize. Uh, uh, Even though me and email have a very tumultuous relationship, one might say, he tries to kill me, I fight back, and I don't try to kill him, but, I try to stop him from causing harm to me. We exchange, ironically enough, we exchange emails, we talk to each other, we tell each other, the happenings, of the mailman channel, because, you see, he has gone into his head that he owns half the channel, even though he's appeared in like, what, 4 streams. He thinks he owns half the channel. He thinks he's made me famous more than I have made myself famous. And anyway, so we talk to each other a lot, and I asked politely if email would ever want to do ASMR streams, and honestly, the vibe he gave off to me was that he's just not the right personality. He just wouldn't fit the calming sort of wholesome aspect of ASMR. He would be a disturbance. He would be very loud and abrasive. He would be rude. He would say a lot of mean things. It's just not a very ASMR experience. Milkman owns the channel. No, 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 no. He's had cameos too. But anyway, let us. I think I've calmed down enough. We're about to discuss jam, strawberry jam. You see, jam refers to a product made of whole fruit cut into pieces or crushed, then heated with water and sugar until it reaches gelling or setting point, which is achieved through the action of natural or added pectin. It is then sealed in containers. Jam making became a great new industry in 19th century England, at which point English jam makers were jam makers for the world, thriving after the repeal of sugar duties in 1974. Pectin is mainly D-galacturonic acid connected by a 1,4 glyceridyl linkages. And I sincerely apologize. This is a very sensitive subject. We're talking about chemicals and compounds, and I know some people are going to be scared and horrified by such complicated matters. It may even bring up bad memories of Breaking Bad. Right, to discuss chemicals, one instantly thinks of, narcotics and drugs. And, that's honestly what I think jam is. Jam is a drug. It takes over your mind and body. And honestly, it should be legally registered as a narcotic by the, what are they called? The FDA? The Food and Drug Association, I think, of the United States. It needs to be regulated. The amount of jam that is spread throughout the whole world, that it's overtaking the minds of children, it's just not right. We need to put a stop to this, and that's of course why I have decided, against my best wishes, to talk about the sensitive subject, as to shed a light onto the horrible things that strawberry jam is doing to the current world. I also recommend reading about how we can. Also, email owns 99% stock in the Mailman Co. delivery company. That's a complete unfounded lie. There's no shred of evidence that says that's true. Email stream is gone. Also, pretty sure it's 500k. Paladin, please read the pinned comment in the channel. The pinned comment says all sound alert redeems are turned off for this stream to keep the calm atmosphere uninterrupted. The reason for being is that this is a calm, relaxing stream. I want you guys to be, as relaxed as you possibly can be. And so any sort of interruptive redeems, such as the sound alerts and the nuke and the email, I don't care that it's not a sound alert. I have hidden it temporarily for this stream only, as to ensure that that this stream is not interrupted by any sort of bad vibes. Okay. It means email is your boss. This is not true. Not true at all. I deny it. I deny it. And yes, also no one has 500,000 points either way. There is no one has 500,000 points. You will not be able to redeem it either way. Continuing on with the, this very scary subject, the side chains of pectin may contain small amounts of sugars, such as L-fructose, D-glucose, D-menrose, and D-xylose. In jams, pectin thickens the final product via cross-linking of the large polymer chains. Recipes without added pectin use the natural pectin in the fruit to set. Tart apples, sour blackberries, cranberries, currants, gooseberries, Concord grapes, soft plums, and quinces work well in recipes without added pectin. Other fruits such as apricots, blueberries, cherries, peaches, pineapple, raspberries, rhubarb, and strawberries are low in pectin. In order to set or gel, they must be combined with one of the high pectin fruits, or used with commercially produced or homemade pectin. Use of added pectin decreases cooking time. Freezer jam is uncooked or cooked less than 5 minutes, then stored frozen, and is popular in parts of North America for its very fresh taste. And just so we can delve into in more finer detail, sort of the different varieties of fruit preserve spreads there are. I will also discuss jelly as well. I feel like the term jam and jelly is so interchangeable nowadays. Like in the United States of America, they say peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but what they're putting on their sandwich is not actually what I consider to be jelly. They're putting jam on it, strawberry jam. So I feel like if we discuss both of them, we will, have a better understanding of the different sort of alternatives of fruit preserves there are out there. The category of fruit preserve referred to as jelly, from the French gelée, is a clear or translucent fruit spread made by a process similar to that used for making jam, with the additional step of filtering out the fruit pulp after the initial cooking. Good jelly is clear and sparkling and has a fresh flavor of the fruit from which it is made. It is tender enough to quiver when moved, but holds angles when cut. The charismatic clarity and jellied consistency of a jelly are qualities it shares with the gelatin-based dessert, also called jelly. See, there you go, 2 different types of jellies, guys. High pectin fruits such as quinces, apples, or red currants are used for making jelly. In the United States, jellies made from strawberries or Concord grapes are most preferred and used for making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. There we go, guys. I literally just mentioned that. Look, oh, disgust. I sincerely apologize. I don't know if you. Thankfully, I think my head was blocking most of that. That was a very violent, gruesome image that I just showed. I sincerely apologize to anyone that may have shocked or scared. We need to keep such sensitive images as minimal as possible during the stream. Fruit jellies may be used in a meal or dish in a similar way to jam. Some jellies, such as red currant or mint, are classic accompaniments to roasted meats such as turkey, game, and lamb. A traditional method for filtering the fruit from a liquid in a jelly is for the use of a muslin or a stockinette jelly bag, suspended by string from an upturned stool over a bowl to allow the straining to occur gently under the action of gravity. Jellies need to be strained very slowly and gently to ensure the clarity of the result, as forced straining by squeezing or pressing can lead to cloudiness in the jelly. Pectin is essential to the formation of jelly because it acts as a gelling agent. meaning when the pectin chains combined, they create a network that results in a gel. The strength and effectiveness of the side chains and the bonds they form depend on the pH of the pectin. The optimal pH is between 2.8 and 3.2. There you go. There you go. Very daunting and confronting facts about jam and jelly and obviously components of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But very fascinating to delve into the science behind these two literally devilish, delightful fruit preservative spreads. There's a reason why they taste so good. Only the devil himself would have made something taste so sweet and good, and it's because it's he's tempting you. He's tempting you to commit sin, right? It's sinful to each, Well, am I mistaken? I do believe that apples were mentioned. Yes, apples. Very famously, the devil he tempted Adam and Eve with the forbidden fruit of the Garden of Eden, which was an apple. And they use apples to make jam and jelly. So it's unfortunate that that's such a tasteful, sweet fruit preserve. It could be this demonic, but at the end of the day, I am the mailman, here to discuss a wide variety of subjects, some of which may be wholesome and family friendly, like the CIA's MK Ultra project, and some of which may be of a more daunting nature, like fruit preserves, which of course may upset some people in chat. Hello, I hope you are doing well. But I love pectin. I know, but people like sin. People like the 7 sins. Yeah, that's why they're sins. Male talking about religion without going into an atheist rant? No way. Paladin. This is a apolitical ASMR stream. I am not speaking from opinions. I am merely stating factual information that everyone can agree on. There is no none of this is my personal bias. This is all facts, 100% facts. That it's common knowledge, honestly, and that if some people don't know, then I'm happy to shed a light on it. Thanks for addressing this very serious and dark subject, man. No worries, Alice. No worries. Pectin is a sin. It is indeed. It is indeed, unfortunately. Of course, if anybody else in chat has a Wikipedia article that would like me to read, then I'm happy to accommodate, of course. Fact: the devil gave an apple to the first 2 humans. Fact: we use apples in strawberry jam. Therefore, eating strawberry jam is committing a sin. That see, facts. They're all facts. You see the through line. You see the through line. Sure. Only truth here. Factual information that we can all agree on. Jam is evil. Pectin is the 8th secret sin. True. See, that's why there's how many circles of hell are there? I have no idea. I can't remember. Gonna eat? No worries. Well, I hope you enjoy your meal, Alice, but listen, I'm gonna have to do, which one is it? I always forget which one it is. Is it this one? That's not the one. That's this. Alice, please, I really hope you're not eating jam. I will be very upset. I will be very upset if you are about to eat strawberry jam. I'll have to shed tears for you. I'll need to hit up my best friend, Jesus H. Christ. Obviously, I helped deliver him to the cross. He was a delivery. I delivered him to the Roman Empire. I said, here you go, guys. He's my best friend, Jesus Christ. Special delivery. We're gonna hang him up on the cross. That's the delivery. You sign here, please. Thank you. Have a good day. I'm gonna hit him up. We've had good memories, and I'm gonna have to unfortunately tell him that if you're eating the sinful fruit preservative known as strawberry jam, then I'm gonna have to inform him of that, and you know he will punish you as he fits. You know, like I have no control over that, sadly. Jam is evil good, yeah. You can't spell pectin without most of sin. It's true, pectin. And you know, like let's look at the letter C. Yeah, C. It almost has like the s, c, sir. C has a s sound. So pectin, sin. It's got the s and it's got the in. So sin. It literally spells sin. Fact. Pectin is sin. That's not URL. Mega comic anyway. That's okay. What? Comic. I see no URL that you're posted to, unfortunately. But yes, if anyone wants to post a Wikipedia article that they wish for me to read, then I am happy to accommodate within reason, of course. Within reason. We must keep things as family friendly as possible. We are, you know, ASMR. I am whispering. Okay, whisper even quiet. Okay. Is this better? Okay. Whisper even quieter. Okay. I was trying to be super quiet. My throat is dying. Speak. My throat is literally on fire. Speaking like this is like really annoying. God. It's barely being picked up on the mic. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay. I'm trying to speak as quietly as possible. Hope this is okay. It is as good of a whisper as I think we're trying to do. Okay, Paladin has offered a Wikipedia page. And it's unfortunate that I will not take two. I will take two. That's fine. That's fine, Paladin. Unfortunately, Paladin has offered up another very sensitive, confronting subject, but it's okay. It's okay. We have to inform the masses nonetheless. This is Anakin. Just look at ugh. Just look at ugh. Ugh. That looks like a human's brain, doesn't it? That's vile. This is very a very dark matter, a dark subject to talk about now. See, that looks like a human's brain. You know, why are all these foods so blood and red and gruesome and visceric? You know, it's just not right. It's just not right. But sadly, I am the mailman, and I must discuss and inform my chat a variety of subjects, even if they may be you know, sensitive subjects such as pemmican. So quickly now, pemmican, also pemmican with only one M in older sources, is a mixture of tallow, dried meat, and sometimes dried berries. And just right there, dried meat. Disappointing. It's that, you know, like, how do you make dried meat? You have to kill animals. You must commit a sin. You must murder animals. You must commit murder to eat this. Right there already goes to show how you know, dark and depraved this particular dish is. It's a calorie-rich food. It can be used as a key component in prepared meals or eaten raw. Historically, it was an important part of indigenous cuisine in certain parts of North America and is still prepared today. The name comes from the Cree word pimmican, which is derived from the word pimi, fat grease. The Lakota or soy word is wasna, originally meaning grease derived from marrow bones, with the wa, 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 wa. Wah 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 wah. Wah creating a noun, and sna referring to small pieces that adhere to something. It was invented by the indigenous peoples of North America. Pemmican was widely adopted as a high-energy food by Europeans involved in the fur trade and later by Arctic and Antarctic explorers, such as Captain Robert Bartlett, Ernest Shackleton, Richard E. Byrd, Fridtjof Nansen, Robert Falcon Scott, George W. DeLong, Robert Peary, Matthew Henson, and Roald Emerson. And we will take a look at the vile, disgusting ingredients that make up this dish. Oh, I've just this I apologize. I shouldn't have even shown that on screen. Disgusting. Like that was an animal that had a life and family, and so cruelly taken away just to make this dish. Very sinful articles my chat has given me to talk about. Doing some ASMR trigger words, just saying wah wrong. Say like Waluigi, wah wah Waluigi, wah wah wah. We need to buy a new mail. This one broken. A new mail costs $9,999,999. This is a scam, man. So yes, the ingredients that make up this dish is pemmican has traditionally been made using whatever meat was available at the time. Large game meat such as bison, deer, elk, or moose, but also fish such as salmon, and smaller game such as duck. Our contemporary pemmican may also include beef. The meat is dried and chopped before being mixed with rendered animal fat, tallow. Dried fruit may be added, cranberries, saxatoon berries, and even blueberries, cherries, chokeberries, and currants. Though in some regions these are used almost exclusively for ceremonial and wedding pemmican. And European fur traders have also noted the addition of sugar. Among the Lakota and Dakota nations, there is also a corn wasna or pemmican that does not contain dried meat. Oh, very good. Now that's the one that I wanna focus on. Okay, this is made from toasted cornmeal, animal fat. Oh, they nearly had me. There. It's not dried meat, but it still contains. And oh, I do not wish to. I think this is a slightly better subject. Cornmeal. No. Fruit and sugar it is made of. So there you go. That is a simple, quick history of pemmican. I apologize again for the sensitive subjects. Australian cuisine. Okay, hopefully this one isn't super long. Or like I can read. I'm only reading a little bit of it anyway. Disc. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look, like on the outside, this may be the most delectable. It may look amazing, right? But deep inside that pastry's core is the most vile thing imaginable. Oh god, I'm floating. Do not look at my legs, don't worry. Australian cuisine is the food and cooking practices of Australia and its inhabitants. Australia has absorbed culinary contributions and adaptations from various cultures around the world, including British, European. Okay, I'm not gonna do the other voices because that would ban me. Asian and Middle Eastern. Indigenous Australians have occupied Australia for some 65,000 years, during which they developed a unique hunter-gatherer diet known as bush tucker. Drawn from regional Australian plants and animals, strongly influenced by British and Irish immigrants, with agricultural products such as beef cattle, sheep, and wheat becoming staples in the local diet. The Australian gold rushes introduced more varied immigrants and cuisines, mainly Chinese, whilst post-war immigration programs led to a large-scale diversification of local food, mainly due to the influence of migrants from the Mediterranean, East Asia, and South Asia. I wonder if there are any male Wikipedia. Blasphemy, you blasphemer, Peter Puppet. I am not a puppet. I am the mailman, and unfortunately I must discuss all such horrid, confronting subjects on this channel that you guys in my chat are unfortunately, sharing to the world. It's sad to say. Why is it any more racist to do an Asian or Middle Eastern accent compared to a British or European accent? Because, Paladin, I am British and European. I am white. That is to answer the question, Paladin. It's as simple as that. You are a puppet of email. I am no puppet. I am my own man. It's in the name. I am the male man. So I am my own man. Australian cuisine in the 21st century reflects the influence of globalization, with many fast food restaurants and international trends becoming influential. Organic and biodynamic foods have also become widely available alongside a revival of interest in bush tucker. Australia exports many agricultural products, including cattle, sheep, poultry, milk, vegetables, fruit, nuts, wheat, barley, and canola. Australia also produces wine, beer, and soft drinks. While fast food chains are abundant, Australia's metropolitan areas have restaurants that offer both local and international foods. Restaurants, which include contemporary adaptations, interpretations, or fusions of exotic influences, are frequently termed modern Australian. And for a quick overview of the wide variety of Australian cuisine there is, we have such national dishes as fish and chips, mate. Oh yeah, a meat pie, innit, bruv? Oh yeah. Chuck that sausage on the barbecue and give me a sausage sizzle, mate. And yeah, load that Vegemite up on my sanger, yeah. And of course, we have such national drinks as beer, coffee, lemonades, and wine. You may also see such articles as beer in Australia, bush tucker, coffee in Australia, lists of Australian dishes, lists of restaurants in Australia, pub food, and wine in Australia for a more thorough reading and understanding of Australian cuisine. You are Australian and can't be full of all European or British cultures, race, ethnicity. That's just messing with this still. Anyways, apolitical stream. Of course, we do not talk about political content on this stream. This is unopinionated, unbiased. It's just facts that I speak of. Finally, moving on to news articles, we have the unwritten rules of baseball. This seems like a I sort of in between wholesome and wholesome and the first thing I see, I thought this was going to be, this is wholesome, yeah, a fight. A fight has broken out, of course, this is simply because this is a dance. This is an entertaining dance, and that is why it is a fun, family-friendly subject. There is a set of unwritten rules of baseball that some players and managers follow. The rules often concern gamesmanship, and not disrespecting players on the opposing team. Incidences have occurred when one or more players interpret the actions of another player as violating the unwritten rules, which can result in beanballs and bench-clearing brawls. As the rules are unwritten and in many cases vague, the interpretation is left to the players involved. Will male enter ear-licking ASMR. Paladin, I know I'm trying to keep this sensitive, trying to keep this stream lighthearted and family-friendly and wholesome, but please fucking kill yourself. Anyway, the mailman does not have a ASMR mic of such good quality as a 3D IO, and thus I do not have ears to stimulate the effect of licking. Ow, beanballs hurts. Wow, okay, sorry, I think email came out there for a second. Email, oh my god, well, no, you get back in there, you can't come out on the ASMR stream, how naughty boy, how dare you. Anyway, baseball. Since the beginnings of baseball in the 19th century, players have adopted unwritten rules about how to behave during the game. So it's not okay to be racist, but it's okay to support and even incite suicide towards your friends. Listen, I did not incite suicide. I simply told you to shut the fuck up in the best way possible. Okay. Unwritten rules about how to behave during the game. According to sports writer Ross Bernstein, these rules have evolved over time Joe Gallagher wrote a book about baseball published in 1960 titled Baseball is a Funny Game, in which he mentioned the unwritten rules of baseball. Baseball is a game played with bat and ball and governed by rules set forth by a committee under the direction of the Commissioner of Baseball. Baseball is a game played by human beings, of course. Thank you for clarifying that it's not played by animals. And governed by unwritten laws of survival and self-preservation. In this book, Gargolia described the purpose pitch, also known as a brushback pitch, a pitch thrown towards the batter's head. In 1986, Peter Schmuck and Randy Youngman of the Orange Country Register wrote a column on the unwritten rules, identifying 30 such rules. The column was later carried by Baseball Digest in their June 1986 issue. The unwritten rules of baseball are meant to establish certain behavioral thresholds for sportsmanship. As some rules are universal, they are not always enforced in an equal way. Certain players are given more leeway than others, especially veteran home run hitters who take time admiring their home runs. And here's a couple of unwritten rules of baseball. For the batter, do not bunt to break up a no-hitter. Do not swing on a 3-0 count when your team is comfortably ahead. Do not spend your time admiring a home run you hit. Do not steal bases if your team is ahead by a significant amount. Do not swing at the first pitch of the at-bat if the pitcher has allowed back-to-back home runs. Do not work the count if your team is winning or losing by a significant amount. Do not rub the spot where you were hit by a pitch. Do not walk in front of a catcher or umpire when walking to the batter's box. Do not stand on the dirt near home plate when the pitcher is warming up. Do not assist a member of the opposing team, and do not speak to a pitcher who is in the process of throwing a no-hitter. And for the pitcher who is removed from the game in the middle of an inning must stay in the dugout until the end of the inning. A pitcher should not indicate displeasure if one of his fielders commits an error. And for the fans, do not discuss a no-hitter that is currently in progress. Okay. Now, I think we'll be moving on to the last Wikipedia article that I'll be reading of this stream. And it is another do one. People. Okay. Bam. Bam. Bubble and Squeak. Wow, we really are going down the deep dark rabbit hole of disturbing meals throughout the world, sadly. It is what it is. We must confront with such dark material. No New Vegas. Okay, so kindly JR, please follow the rule. I know you were asking a nice question. But please in future follow the rules here, in which rule number 3 is please refrain from telling me to play X game, asking when I am playing X game next, or negatively commenting on the game or activity I am currently playing. This is a temporary ASMR stream in order to relax and calm my chatters into a deep, tranquil state and peace of mind, exploring a wide variety of wholesome and family-friendly subjects such as the CIA's MK Ultra project, maple syrup, and Vlad the Impaler. I'm not too sure what I will play after this stream, but I don't think it will be New Vegas, for the simple fact that I played that yesterday. Maybe later, if he does a second stream. For now, he's doing a once-in-a-lifetime ASMR stream. It's certainly true. That is certainly correct. Wait, I want to see if I can clip what you said. No, I left it too late. A shame. Wait, someone wrote the unwritten rules? Indeed they did, Paladin. It's almost like an impossible occurrence, wouldn't you say? Lies. Stream buffering? I have not had any loss in my stream quality. That unfortunately must be on your end exclusively, Paladin. I'm looking down here at my dropped frames and it says 0.0%. That means that there have been no frames dropped whatsoever. And that means it's not on my end anyway, it's either Twitch's or your end. Oh no, oh no, oh no, my eyes. Even when someone is asking an innocent question. Yes. Yes, Paladin. It upsets me when people want me to do something else. And I'm not being mean about it, but when someone tells me when is the thing, why don't you do the other thing, even if they are asking it nicely, it upsets me because it makes me think that they don't like what I'm doing right now, and that makes me not want to. Takes me out of mind and doing what I am currently doing. This tab was in focus, but other streams were continuing. That is, how did I have? You know, I'm not saying you have bad internet, but you know, hypothetically speaking, if one has a lot of tabs open, all playing multiple streams, then one can assume that there is going to be connection issues to watching certain streams. No. But anyway, let us finish this deep dark delve into sensitive subjects with Bubble and Squeak, a British dish made from cooked potatoes and cabbage, mixed together and fried. The food writer Howard Hillman classes it as one of the great peasant dishes of the world. The dish has been known since at least the 18th century, and in its early versions it contained cooked beef. By the mid-20th century, the two vegetables had become the principal ingredients. Why did I pronounce that really badly? So I did say this is disgusting, but honestly, this is actually quite nice. This is quite lovely. I have a very strong bias. I know I said this stream has no biases, but that's a lie. My grandmother makes bubbles squeak all the time, so I'm a big fan. It's yummy. I like it. It's good. 10 out of 10 by the mailman. History. The name of the dish, according to Oxford Dictionary, alludes to the sounds made by the ingredients when being fried. The first recorded use of the name listed in the Oxford Dictionary dates from 1762. The St. James Chronicle, recording the dishes served at a banquet, included bubble and squeak, garnished with Edo's cow bombo and tongue. Ah yes, I love Edo's cow bombo. A correspondent in the Public Advertiser 2 years later reported making a very hearty meal on fried. Wait, what? They didn't spell this right. That's really weird that they didn't. Huh. They didn't finish the sentence correctly. Anyway. Beef and cabbage, though I could not have touched it, had my wife recommended to me under the fashionable appellation of Bubble and Squeak. In 1791, another London paper recorded the quarterly meeting of the Bubble and Squeak Society at Smithfield. They created these British people, man, they're so funny. Potato and cabbage. They created a Bubble and Squeak Society. That's, interesting to say the least, I think. It's Wikipedia, it must be right. And just so you know, we come here because we like your content, not just New Vegas or Hoyford. Thank you, Palin. That's nice to hear. The problem is, that caveat is often not spoken by many people in my chat, and thus, I need to make sure that there are ground rules in play for people. I have had many chatters in the past who have only come for one type of content or one game, and that does upset me, I will be honest. Obviously people have preferences, and that's fine, but I think voicing those preferences is what bothers me. But continuing on with Bubble Squeak, the dish as it is made in modern times differs considerably from its first recorded versions, in which cooked beef was the main ingredient and potatoes did not feature. The earliest known recipe is in Murray Arundel's A New System of Domestic Cookery. Published in 1806, it consists wholly of cabbage and rare roast beef, seasoned and fried. The method is followed by William Kitchener in his book Apicius Redivus, or the Cook's Oracle, 1817. In later editions, he adds a couplet at the top of his recipe. When missed the frying pan in accents Rav Savage, the beef so surly quarrels with the cabbage. Bro was writing a cooking book, but was writing poetry. What the hell? Let's jump to the modern versions. Possibly because of the scarcity of beef during food rationing in and after the Second World War, by the later half of the 20th century, the basic ingredients were widely considered to be cooked and mashed or coarsely crushed potato, and chopped cooked cabbage. Those are the only ingredients in Delia Smith's 1987 recipe. Clarissa Dixon Wright's 1996 version consists of crushed cooked potatoes, finely chopped raw onion, and cooked cabbage, or Brussels sprouts, seasoned with salt and pepper, mixed together and shallow fried until browned on the exterior. Like Smith, Dixon Wright specifies dripping or lard for frying, finding vegetable oil unsuitable for frying bubble and squeak because the mixture will not brown adequately. Several other cooks find oil or butter satisfactory. Well, there you go. And I would say it's not listed here, ironically, but I would definitely say that in Australia we have, it's popular here in Australia mainly because of the connection to the British. Again, my grandmother and mother both made this dish, so it is common. Apparently this is yeah, that is bubble and squeak. It's in an English breakfast. I don't usually see bubble and squeak in an English breakfast, but that looks like a really nice English breakfast actually. You got the toast with the butter on it. You got the bubble and squeak. I think that's some mushroom and a tomato and some baked beans. Some yummy baked beans. Well, isn't that nice? But I think we'll call it there for the ASMR stream for tonight. I will be streaming again shortly, within the next, 30 minutes or so. I'm not too sure what I'll play. It probably will end up being New Vegas, not gonna lie, because I enjoy that game a lot and wish to see it to completion, the Frontier mode. But this has been a very fun stream. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly had an interesting time doing it, since this is not my regular content. Yep. Is there anybody that I could potentially raid? I kinda doubts it. Okay. I would say no. And I'm not gonna go check the ASMR category because that's a death sentence that I don't want to have to deal with. So I think it's okay for me to... You got Candle on? Oh, I don't even know who that is. I apologize if there's somebody I should know, but I don't know them off the top of my head. I will just leave it there for now. And of course enjoy this nice calming background that I did for the start of the stream and now for the end of the stream. Thank you so much for watching this stream. It has been what it is. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. And of course, as usual, I've been the mailman, and I do hope you rated them last time. But the problem is this is an ASMR stream, and they have 26 viewers, and they're playing Warhammer 40k, and I'll look like a weirdo if I raid them because I'm doing ASMR. Those are all the issues that I am mentioning. Wait, Shirone is live as well. I think I collabed with her when I did a stream with Naito. She's playing some random gacha game that I have no idea about. Okay, anyway, moving on. Yes, I'm the mailman. Look after yourselves. Have a good rest of your day, evening, morning or night, wherever and whenever in the world you are. I've been the mailman. Look after yourselves. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye for now.